It's wild card weekend in the NFL, and the Cardinals are a part of the fun. Heading to Los Angeles on Monday night to take on the Rams. The Cards 11-6, the Rams 12-5. Both teams in different directions, basically, as they finish the season. But let's dive in first to player availability. Bob, what do we know about the Cardinals for Monday?
Let's start on offense. It looks like there's a good chance they're going to have both their running backs back, and Chase Edmonds and James Conner. That is huge for this offense. It's huge for everything that Kingsbury and Kyler Murray do. They need a balance. It's how they beat the Rams in week 4. It was a heavy, healthy running attack. I don't know how healthy those guys are going to be, but having them both available, period, is going to be huge. And then I'll add to that Rondale Moore, the rookie wideout. He was sensational earlier in the season and kind of didn't get more. He became more horizontal than vertical. A lot of screen dumps and running out of bounds, and there wasn't a lot of positive yardage, but he is so quick. He runs good routes, and nothing's too big for him. I think that's going to be huge, having those 3 guys available. And on defense, cornerback, you got to start there. I know everybody's talking about J.J. Watt. It's a great story. We'll see, if there's any chance in hell that he plays Monday. I'm pulling for the guy. I hope it's a great story, like I said. But cornerback, getting Marco Wilson, a rookie cornerback, back into this lineup is imperative, especially against all those wideouts. They're going to need all kinds of help to stopgap that problem. I don't know how you stop Cooper Kupp. You don't. But getting Marco Wilson back, Kevin Peterson's out of the concussion protocol. That's huge news too. Not an easy task for this defense, though, Brian.
No, and when we talk about offense versus defense, and let's talk about the 2 quarterbacks in this matchup, Kent, Murray versus Stafford. And Stafford with 7 interceptions in the last 3 games. Who's there more pressure on in this game? Kyler Murray or Matthew Stafford, Kent?
Ooh, in context of their careers and what we think about them, I think Matthew Stafford, he's been in the league longer, never had much success, but then he played for the Lions, so he's got the greatest excuse of all for that. But yeah, this is why the Rams brought him to Los Angeles to get them to the Super Bowl. And he's got to play better than he has toward the end of the season. And the Cardinals have to hope that, he's the inconsistent Matthew Stafford who's going to give you a couple chances at catching his passes and setting up scores. I mean, like you said, Brian, he's done that for the last few weeks. Kyler Murray, he has to play better too. He hasn't been the same Kyler since coming back from that ankle injury. The supporting cast around him being banged up has hurt, but certainly he'll prove a lot if he puts this team on his shoulders and they win a playoff game in Los Angeles.
Greg, what are your thoughts on this quarterback matchup?
It means pressure's all on Kyler Murray. We've seen Matt Stafford. We know exactly who and what Matt Stafford is, right? Matt Stafford is a fine football player. But during that losing streak when the Rams had late in the season, I think they ended up losing 3 in a row. He was atrocious. He was throwing the ball all over the field, setting up interceptions. Can Matt Stafford change the narrative on who he is as a football player? Sure. Why not? But why can't Kyler Murray just step up and just take this thing? This is my division. This is my conference. This is my moment. This is my time. And every last one of you guys who we've seen before, get out of my way. Let me show y'all how to really do it when you really get a chance. So I'm watching Kyler, and that's it.
Bob, as you've seen both of these, quarterbacks at length, perspective locally, obviously we're putting pressure on Murray, but maybe Stafford just sort of withers away on this. Maybe it's gotten to him the last few weeks. I don't know. I'm curious about your thoughts on this.
I don't know how to really answer this, but I'll just say this: Matt Stafford's a hell of a quarterback, and he hasn't won diddly squad. Pressure's all on him, in my opinion. But there's no pressure on Kyler Murray because he doesn't feel it. He lives for moments like this. He's young. Yeah, this is only his 3rd year. Yeah, first playoffs. Yeah. He's been in so many big games as a quarterback. He cherishes it. He was talking this week about how much he embraces this. And his coach predicted he's going to have the game of his life on Monday night. No moment is too big for this guy. And I think he's so eager and willing. And we saw some negative emotions, because there were batted passes and dropped catches last week. And the emotions are going to be cranked and ratcheted up beyond our wildest thoughts. But this guy lives for these moments. I think he's going to respond, and he's going to put up a hell of a game.
So let's talk about the game specifically and what you guys are all looking for as you watch this game unfold on Monday night. Kent, what are you going to be watching to see in this game for the Cardinals to win?
I'll be watching number 99 on defense for both teams. Aaron Donald wrecked the Cardinals a month ago at State Farm Stadium. They couldn't block him. Kyler Murray could be ready to play the game of his life. If they let Aaron Donald in the backfield as much as they did a month ago, it's not going to matter. He's not going to get a chance. He killed him. Now, Cardinals didn't have Justin Pugh in that game. They were banged up. They controlled him in the first encounter in Los Angeles. And then, obviously, if J.J. Watt plays for the Cardinals, I'm going to be curious about, how much he could contribute, what that does for the Cardinals. Does it give him a little boost? Those are the main two things off the top of my head, I'll be watching, other than the quarterbacks and see if Cliff Kingsbury can pull his team out of a late season tailspin.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost 4 out of the last 5. Greg, what are you going to be looking for specifically on Monday night?
Well, I'm not looking for the Cardinals to win. Like they can't win, right? We know now that the Cardinals, they are what we think they are, to coin a phrase that maybe means something in this town. But the thing that I'm watching more than anything else is whether Kyler can overcome all of the odds against him. Aaron Donald is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best defensive linemen ever to walk the face of the earth. If Kyler can put the shakes on that guy, if he can find wide receivers who aren't the number one dude against Jalen Ramsey, are you kidding me? It's like watching Spider-Man fight the Sinister Six. It's the Sinister 11. He's on the road. This is all set up for Kyler to do something that nobody thinks can be done. And that's what I'm focused on. But now to piggyback off Kent a little bit with J.J. Watt, what a story. Are you kidding me? J.J. Watt might be a superhero. Nobody comes back from a destroyed shoulder that same season, much less he's doing it in like a month. I cannot wait to see J.J. Watt, if he can take the field and make any plays whatsoever. This is Willis Reed for me. This is what other generations have seen when Isaiah Thomas was out there on one foot in the playoffs. This is that if J.J. can do it. I cannot wait to watch that guy.
That's inspiring. And Bob, I know you're going to give us a dose of reality here. What are you looking for? And
I don't know any superheroes. I don't know. You have to start this conversation with number 99 on the Rams. He had 14 quarterback pressures on Murray the last time. He got to him 3 times. First game, he had his worst pass rush game of his entire career back in week 4 against the Cardinals. So somewhere in the middle, the Cardinals have a chance if they can contain him. Now, they're going to be more fully stocked up front. Kingsbury told us we're going to be ready. We're going to have to throw some different things because that can't be allowed to happen again with especially Aaron Donald. But I'm looking at Cooper Kupp, guys. This guy gets open. I don't know how he does it. I mean, he can read coverages as well as anyone. He runs routes. Stafford always has his eyes on this cat, and the Cardinals have to account for this guy. I don't know how you're going to do it. You've got to double team him, and that's such a risk with all the other weapons they have. But if you take Cooper Kupp out of the game, you have a chance to win a playoff game for the first time in 6 years and really make a serious, drop on the rest of the league saying, hey, you know what? Look at, we're still alive. We're real. We're coming after the next person. And, that might last for only another week. But if they neutralize Donald and they can neutralize Cooper Kupp somehow, they have a shot.
And that's all Cardinals fans are hoping for and really wanting. So let's get to predictions. Kent, your prediction for this wild card matchup.
Oh, wow. I think the Cardinals have a chance. I mean, they're 8-1 on the road. Somehow they lost in Detroit. I don't even know how to begin to explain that. They have a chance, but I just think the Rams are better. I think that the Rams have their number one receiver, Cooper Kupp. Oh, and they have a guy named Van Jefferson who scored on a 62-yard bomb or something like that at State Farm Stadium. The Cardinals don't. They miss DeAndre Hopkins, as much as anybody can miss anything. So I think it'll be close though. I think the Rams will win this 24-20.
Okay. 24-20. All right, Greg, we know you've been working on this prediction all week. The over-under is 49.5. The Rams are 4-point favorites here. What do you think?
This is rough. So I'm picking the under. And first of all, this is not financial advice. Don't go gambling based on anything I say. That's your money. You do what you want with it.
Entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only. I'm looking at this as an audition for Vance Joseph and Raheem Morris to try to get a job in the NFL. We know that it's time to start looking at hiring coaches. We know that the NFL's had a hard time hiring and retaining Black coaches, whether they're qualified, whether they get the opportunities to fail. I mean, we got this guy up in Detroit, Dan Campbell. The only team apparently he can beat is Arizona. I don't know. Maybe they won 3 games this year, and I thought that winning 3 games would get you fired. I don't know the rules. But when you're asking about this game, I don't think that either team is going to put up a big number of points. And we somehow talked about the Rams and didn't even mention Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, they are loaded on that side of the ball, but I'm trusting Vance Joseph to be able to put pressure on an immobile Matt Stafford. I'm looking for Chandler Jones, maybe to have the best game of the season. Other than that 5-sack performance, I'm not calling for that again. So we're picking the under. So I'm also picking the Rams to win, and I'm picking the Rams to cover. So at that point, I could pick 5-0 Rams, and it'd still be a legit pick. So how about I do that? 5-0 Rams, and I'm putting the pressure on Cliff and Kyler to prove me wrong. Put some points up. Get in the end zone. Don't do that red zone thing and kick a bunch of field goals. If y'all can win it, the Rams will go home unhappy, and it'll be a short trip because they're in LA. 5-0 Rams.
Bob?
Cardinals 30, Rams 27. And I'm going with a hunch here, guys. This Cardinal team was the best team in the league for a while. And I know they haven't shown it, but I know that they're getting healthy. And I'm not going to put anything past them. The Rams should win. The Rams are probably a much better team right now, and they have more weapons, in my opinion, where it counts. I think they pull off the upset, and I think everybody's going to be scratching their heads going, now what?
Okay. Well, we're going to wait all weekend.
Now what?
Well, now we've got to wait the entire weekend. The last game, Monday night, Cardinals, Rams, 6:15, SoFi Stadium. By the way, you start the playoffs there, and you would end your playoffs with the Super Bowl there, and that would.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Brian.
Okay, well, I'm
Bowl.
just speaking.
Then we can say now what.
Are they going to buy tickets?
All your coverage right here at azcentral.com.